welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Nina.
And I'm Matt. So Nina, you know what? Yesterday I was so busy. I had so many things to do and more work just kept getting added on and I felt like I was getting nothing done. It was like I was chasing my own tail.
Oh man, chasing your own tail like a dog does, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So you're going round in circles and you're not getting anywhere? Is
That's
that right?
right. It's like I feel like I'm not getting anything done. I'm not being productive. So just like when a dog chases its own tail, it's not catching anything, it's not doing anything productive, it's just going around and around.
Yeah, you know another phrase that is fun that you can use the word tail in is having one's tail between their legs.
Okay, so how could you use that one?
So for example, after my boss told me off, I had my tail between my legs.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So meaning feeling kind of embarrassed or sad, just like how a dog, if you yell at a dog, usually the dog will go and put its tail between its legs. So when a person looks like that or is scared of maybe an authority or someone more powerful than them, they might put their tail between their legs.
Yes, and another one is, I don't know if you've heard, heads or tails when you flip a coin.
That's right. So when you toss a coin, you can say heads, meaning the side with a head on it, or tails, meaning the other side.
Yeah.
And in fact, in Canada, where I am from, most of the coins have a head on one side and an animal on the other side.
Ooh.
So usually those animals might have a tail.
Oh, you know, that actually makes so much sense. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, so I think we're going to find out more about tails when we get into today's article after this.
All right.
Warmth. Some animals actually use their tails to stay warm. Foxes and coyotes are two kinds of animals that do this. On cold nights, these animals wrap their tails around themselves, sort of like how humans use blankets. Mating. Sometimes animals will use their tails to get the attention of possible mates. This kind of behavior can be seen in birds of paradise. These birds are well known for their beautiful, colorful tails, which they use to attract members of the opposite sex.
All right, welcome back to part 2 of what do animals use their tails for anyway?
So in part 1, we learned first that they use them for balance.
Yes.
Balance meaning to keep them, equal weight on either side to keep them from falling over.
Yeah.
They also use them for defense, so protecting from attack, protecting from danger.
Yes.
And then we last learned that they use their tails for movement, like a fish moves through the water, or how some monkeys can use their tails to swing through the trees.
Yes, so there are at least 3 more uses that we can talk about, we're going to learn today.
Right, so let's get into the next use, which is warmth. Okay. So warmth is a noun, which means the feeling or sensation of moderate heat or of being warm.
Okay.
So when someone feels warmth, they feel usually a comfortable amount. They're not too hot.
Yeah.
They're not cold. They're not even cool. They are warm.
Yeah.
So for example, the warmth of the sun feels good on my skin. So usually when we talk about warmth, it's usually a good feeling. And we can even say a person has warmth means that they're nice and caring. They're a good person to talk to if someone has warmth.
They usually give you a good feeling, right? Just like warm is comfortable, when someone is warm, you'll usually say, oh yeah, she makes me feel good, or he makes me feel good.
Feel the warmth.
Yes. So continuing, some animals actually use their tails to stay warm. Foxes and coyotes are 2 kinds of animals that do this. Okay, that kind of makes sense because they do have like fluffy tails, right?
Yeah,
it would make sense that it would keep them warm.
Yeah, it looks like, you see a fox's tail, it looks like something that you'd like to,
Yeah, just like sleep on.
It looks very comfortable, I think.
Yeah. So on cold nights, these animals wrap their tails around themselves, sort of like how humans use blankets. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's a good use for a tail to stay warm when they're sleeping. I think some foxes even live in very cold places, so they maybe even have an even bigger tail to keep them extra warm.
That would make sense. Okay, so they wrap themselves with their tails, and wrap is a verb. It means to cover or enclose something by folding a piece of material around it. So in this case, it's using their own tail to wrap themselves up. For example, Tanya wrapped a towel around her head. Well, that's what we usually do when we want to dry our hair, right?
Yeah, or so you can wrap a burrito.
Or wrap a present.
Right, or you can wrap a wrap.
Wrap.
We usually use a wrap as a noun.
Yeah.
We actually mean a food that is made like from flatbread rolled around something or wrapped around some other ingredients.
So you can wrap a wrap.
That's right.
Nice.
Okay. So let's get on to the next use of tails, which is for mating. Now, mating means the act of, making more baby animals. So when a couple of animals get together and make some baby animals. So sometimes animals will use their tails to get the attention of possible mates.
Oh, I think like a lot of birds have very colorful tails, right?
I think so.
So it's usually on the male animals to attract the female.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's right. Mostly male animals need to look pretty to attract the female animals. So. This kind of behavior can be seen in birds of paradise. Okay, so I think they have beautiful tails.
All right. These birds are well known for their beautiful, colorful tails, which they use to attract members of the opposite sex. Okay, so they use their colorful tails to attract either the female of that animal or the male, right? So colorful is an adjective, and it means having bright colors or a lot of different colors. Yeah. For example, butterflies typically have colorful wings. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think the most common example of the colorful bird tail that people could think of is the peacock.
Yes.
Peacock is very well known for its colorful tail, which it also uses for mating.
Yeah, it does. Okay.
So they want to attract the opposite sex. So in this case, opposite meaning completely different or the completely other thing.
Yeah.
So in the case of the opposite sex, they mean male attracts a female or female attracting a male.
Yes.
So for example, the two trains headed in opposite directions, meaning completely different directions, meaning one's going straight that way, one's going straight that way, as trains do head on straight tracks so they can go in opposite directions.
Yeah. All right, so we learned a few more uses for the tail, right?
2 more uses for the tail. That means we still have 1 more use of the tail to learn when we get into the next part after the break.
All right, see you then.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课程看了3种动物尾巴的用途，就是 balance 平衡、defense 防卫、movement 移动。今天要来看看另外3种咯。第4种用途就是 warmth 保暖。那我们就来看这个单字 warmth， 它是名词，表示保暖、温暖或是暖和，它是不可数名词。Matt 老师在讲解时，他用到 sensation 去表达感觉的意思 ，S-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N， 那它有感觉、知觉的意思。好，那也补充一下，其实 warmth 还可以用来描述人的亲切、热情。这时候老师们就有用到一个形容词叫 caring， C-A-R-I-N-G， 它可以形容是有爱心的、关心他人的。好，那课文写到说有一些动物会用尾巴来保暖，像是狐狸还有郊狼。那在寒冷的夜里，这些动物就会用尾巴来裹住自己，有一点像人类用毯子的那种方式。那老师们刚刚讲到这个狐狸的尾巴，他们就用 fluffy 来形容 ，F-L-U-F-F-Y， fluffy 是形容柔软的、蓬松的。 再看到单字 wrap， 它表示用什么来绕住、围紧，或者是用什么来包裹，是当动词。那其实它也可以当名词，可以指像卷饼啊，或者是包裹物。那如果我们用 gift wrap， 就可以指礼品的包装纸。再看到第5种动物尾巴的用途是 mating， 表示求偶。有时候啊，动物会用尾巴来吸引潜在配偶的注意。那这种行为可以在天堂鸟身上看到。这些鸟呢，它们以美丽缤纷的这种尾巴闻名，它们用尾巴来吸引异性。Matt 老师提到说，孔雀也是这样。那么 peacock 就是孔雀。那我们看到课文单字，它用到 colorful 来形容色彩鲜艳的、丰富多彩的。Opposite 则是形容另一边的、对面的，或是截然相反的。文中的 the opposite sex 就是异性的意思。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 be known for 加上名词或动名词，是表达以什么而闻名。这个形容词 known 它是表达知名的、已知的，像是 The durian is known for its strong odor， 榴莲以其强烈气味而闻名。那比较一个用法就是 be known as 加名词，则是表达被称为什么，以什么样的身份而闻名。例如 The durian is known as the king of fruits，榴莲被称为水果之王。好，接到课文中。
Communication. Many animals use their tails to help them communicate. If you've seen a dog wag its tail, then you've seen an example of this. Other examples include beavers that hit their tails against the water to make a loud warning sound for other beavers. With so many ways that animals use their tails, it can be fun to imagine what you would do with a tail of your own. You could use a tail to climb a tree, stay balanced, or maybe even type a text message.
Welcome back. So we've just learned that some animals use their tails for warmth, such as foxes or coyotes who will wrap their tails around themselves when they sleep to keep warm. We also learned that some animals can use their tails for mating. So in particular, birds such as birds of paradise or peacocks, they have colorful tails to help them attract a mate.
Yes, and now we're going to learn about another use of the tail, which is communication. Just as before, I mentioned how my cat likes to use his tail to communicate when he's upset or feeling anxious. His tail will move in a certain way to let me know maybe I shouldn't pet him.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so many animals use their tails to help them communicate. And communicate here is a verb. It means to exchange information or ideas, to let someone know something, right?
Okay.
So, for example, our team members usually communicate with each other by email.
Okay, so it's how the animals can let you or let people or other animals know how they're feeling or what they're thinking by moving their tails.
Yeah.
So, if you've seen a dog wag its tail, to wag, that means when a dog moves its tail from side to side, then you've seen an example of this. So what does that mean when a dog wags its tail?
It's usually very happy and excited, right?
Yeah,
when
I think usually when a
wags.
dog's usually a good or at least an excited mood, a dog will move its tail or wag its tail. Okay. Other examples include beavers that hit their tails against the water to make a loud warning sound for other beavers.
Oh, so maybe there's a predator and they want other beavers to run away, right?
Right, so a loud warning is a clap, clap, clap against the water. So.
Nice. With so many ways that animals use their tails, it can be fun to imagine what you would do with a tail of your own. Yeah, that would be interesting. You could use a tail to climb a tree, stay balanced, or maybe even type a text message.
Ooh, okay.
It has to be a very thin tail for it to type a text message, right?
Or you could be using like an iPad and then you have the buttons enlarged so that you can...
Yeah, there's that. I think it's like having another hand, right? You can do other things with your hand and have your tail do things for you. So, what do you think? Do you think humans could benefit from having tails? Why or why not? And if so, what would be some ways that we could use them, Matt?
Okay, so I think humans could benefit from having tails.
How so?
Because I have seen the movie Avatar and Avatar 2. So in Avatar 2, they actually have these new flat tails that they use to swim.
Oh yeah, the water avatars.
But in both avatars, they use their tails to like plug into trees or to plug into animals that they ride so that they can control them.
Yeah.
So if I had one of those magic tails, I think it would be very useful. Maybe I could plug it into my phone to type the text messages.
Or charge your phone. Imagine that.
Maybe, yes. So how about you, Nina? Do you think humans could benefit from having tails?
I think that would be cool, if you had a tail that could do more things for you, right? It's like having a third hand maybe, like you can use your hands for other things, have your tail, answer the door while you're washing the dishes, or even use your tail as a chair just like kangaroos do.
Oh, that's right. So kangaroos can sit back on their tails. So maybe we wouldn't even need these tails here if we had tails like a kangaroo's.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of other uses that we could use are you could keep yourself warm at night like a fox.
Yeah.
So many uses that we've learned, and I think that we've seen how all of these animals benefit from their tails. So I think certainly there could be some benefits for us to have a tail.
Yeah, for sure. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. And these animals can enjoy their tails and all of its amazing uses.
So I hope you learned a lot, and we'll see you next time.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
好，最后要介绍的动物尾巴用途是沟通。那我们先学一下动词 communicate， 就是沟通交流。它的名词 communication 可以表达联系、沟通、交流。好，那么课文就写到说，许多动物用尾巴来帮助它们沟通。那像狗狗摇尾巴就是一个例子，还有像河狸，它们会用尾巴来打水，目的是要发出响亮的警告声，来让其他河狸知道。Nina 老师推测说，可能是要提醒同伴有掠食者，所以才这么做。那老师说的 predator P-R-E-D-A-T-O-R predator 可以指掠食性动物或是掠夺者。好，那么课文最后要我们想象一下，如果我们有尾巴的话，会拿来做什么呢？你会拿来传简讯、滑平板吗？想象这个画面可能很有趣哦。那我们最后就来看一个重点，要进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 it 加 be 动词加形容词，再加不定词 to be， 可以表达做什么什么是怎么样的。那么 it 在这边是虚主词，真正的主词是后面的那个不定词 to be。这个不定词片语我们拿来当主词用的时候，常常会用 it 代替，所以我们就来看一下句型改写的过程咯。原本是 to be 加上 be 动词加形容词，那这个形容词就是用来形容这个主词 to be。现在呢，我们把主词 to be 移到句尾，然后用虚主词 it 去代替它的位置，句型就变成 it 加 be 动词加形容词再加 to be。举例来说 ，to follow traffic rules is important， 也可以改写成 It's important to follow traffic rules。遵守交通规则是很重要的。好，那补充一下，不定词 to be 前面还可以加入 for somebody 去表达对某人来说，像 It's hard for some people to get up early， 对某些人来说早起是很困难的。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Warmth. Some animals actually use their tails to stay warm. Foxes and coyotes are two kinds of animals that do this. On cold nights, these animals wrap their tails around themselves, sort of like how humans use blankets. Mating. Sometimes animals will use their tails to get the attention of possible mates. This kind of behavior can be seen in birds of paradise. These birds are well known for their beautiful, colorful tails, which they use to attract members of the opposite sex. Communication. Many animals use their tails to help them communicate. If you've seen a dog wag its tail, then you've seen an example of this. Other examples include beavers that hit their tails against the water to make a loud warning sound for other beavers. With so many ways that animals use their tails, it can be fun to imagine what you would do with a tail of your own. You could use a tail to climb a tree, stay balanced, or maybe even type a text message.
Today we're going to somewhere a little bit different and special, and it's called the Chiayi Old Prison. Now, it was built in 1922, and it's the only wooden prison in Taiwan. It has an important historic cultural value in Taiwan as well. This prison is equipped with factories, outdoor and indoor bathhouses, and a dental clinic. So if you ever want to learn about what early prisoners' lives are like, make sure you check out Chiayi's Old Prison.
Chiayi Old Prison is located in downtown Chiayi. This prison is well preserved and has an important historic cultural value in Taiwan. Chiayi Old Prison was built in 1922 and is the only wooden prison in Taiwan. It features fan-shaped wings and central towers. This design enables easy surveillance and management. The ceiling is a wooden lattice. Above the cells, there is a corridor, which is called catwalk. Guards could patrol and look down into the cells. The prison is also equipped with factories, indoor and outdoor bathhouses, and a dental clinic. You can visit the cell blocks, visitation rooms, the warden's office, and a photography exhibit. Above the door, there is a Japanese shrine hidden in an alcove. At the prison, you can learn about what early prisoners' lives looked like. If you want to have a different trip in Chiayi, be sure to visit Chiayi Old Prison to immerse yourself in this prison atmosphere.
I hope you guys enjoyed learning about Chiayi Old Prison. I certainly did. It's certainly very unique and different, not like the other places that we visit in Chiayi. So if you ever get tired of just shopping around or looking for good food to eat, make sure you go and visit Chiayi Old Prison. We'll see you there.